What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are live. I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, this is going to be a long one, boys. For episode number 61, we're inching ever closer to that special edition episode 69 that I can't wait for. We'll have to do something awesome for that. But just to forewarn everybody, myself and the production team are incredibly sleep deprived today, so this could be a little touch and go, and we're not all that prepared. But we're going to do what good podcast hosts do and completely bullshit our way through this. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And you guys should just, stick around to see when the wheels fall off this thing and see how long we can keep it together. I'm here with co-host Buff Nerd Gaming.
How's it going? We're going to do it live.
We're doing it live. And then also joined by newly christened official co-host Blue the Robot. What's up, man?
And they threw a wine bottle at me. That's how they actually did it. Made sure to smash it over my head. But
yeah,
what's up?
We hit him with the wine bottle and floated him out to sea, and he's the real deal now. So yeah, we're doing it. I hope the audio levels are good. Everyone let me know if stuff's kind of off or weird or levels are different. I'm gonna keep trying to watch that a little bit, but things have changed. Every time I turn on my computer, my audio settings are different every single time. It just randomly changes numbers. And I know it does this. It's not my sleep deprived brain. I actually take a picture of like the levels and the decibels and everything. And then I turn it on the next day and it's completely different. So it's not just me.
Great.
So thanks, Windows. Shout out Bill Gates. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah. Gotta love it.
What have you guys been doing? What have you been up to? What's going on out there, here?
Well, I mean, breaking news, Crash muted me on Twitter because he got sick of my nonsense.
we got a little internal controversy here going amongst the program.
Him. I'm just gonna mute his tweets.
Yeah, just couldn't handle it anymore.
So today I was looking through, and you had replied. I think my Rainbow Six shot, like my Rainbow Six, flick on Twitter, and I saw it when you replied, and then somebody else replied to it.
This account.
Yeah, somebody else replied to it today. And I was scrolling down and it said some comments are hidden due to muted accounts. And I'm like, I haven't muted anybody. I've never done that. And I looked and it was your response that was muted. And I went and
it might have been a word that you muted, maybe.
I haven't even done that. Like I haven't even muted anything.
I just replied with a GIF too. I
don't
think I even said anything.
Yeah. So I muted my good friend Buff. So we had a little bit of controversy on the old Twitter world. So, and that automatically changed too. So that's going to be on Elon. That's an Elon problem.
Yeah.
So you need to get your shit sorted out, pal. Don't be getting into my account. You're multi-billionaire doing SpaceX stuff and Twitter and Tesla. You don't need to be meddling.
He's jealous of the show and he's trying to mess things up for us is what it is. He watches us. He's like, those
silly man.
Mind your own business, Elon. We're doing fine over here.
Come on, dude.
Quit meddling.
Just jealous.
You're always meddling with stuff. Have you played video games?
Not too. I haven't played that much the past week. I just kind of been getting ready for this season 2 Reloaded. When you complete it, do everything there is to do.
That's it.
Waiting for Wednesday.
That's a topic we could talk about.
It is indeed.
Nice.
It is indeed.
Look at that. We're piecing the show together already.
Woo!
Yeah, it's going
here. Doing it live.
I'm so glad.
We're doing it live, guys.
We are actually doing it live. How about you, Blue? What have you been up to? Sounds like you've been touching grass still, getting this college learning done.
Yeah, 2 weeks left, man. 2 weeks left, and I'm done. Get my degree. But I went to a Oscars event last night. That our school hosts and stuff like that, and it's because they have like a lot of the alumni end up working on those projects and stuff like that, so they would showcase who was in what and helped on. I think one of the guys was like a mixer for Everything Everywhere.
Oh wow.
What was that? All at once.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, I think that's
yeah. So it was a huge venue. They got popcorn, they had pizza, they had donuts.
Well,
they had raffles, giveaways. They were giving out like the new Quest VR headsets. Like if they were playing Kahoot and whoever won, it was like 3 rounds of Kahoot, and they give away 3 headsets.
Oh wow, that's sick.
Yeah,
coming
our
over.
school does it big.
I'm
Yeah.
coming
And
over.
then
Well,
of course,
I'm kinda-
and then the secondary ticket raffles won like iPads and Nintendo Switches, and
Damn,
Oh
that's
my
pretty good stuff.
My backlight's unplugged. I forgot I unplugged it. So I'm glad now that you've said that I did not make fun of the Oscars because I was gonna make fun of them and their ratings and stuff.
I'm not a big Oscars fan. It was more just like a bunch of friends invited me out there. Plus, I did want to see Brendan Fraser win, which he did, so that was kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, that's epic.
Yeah, and then
That was
him
pretty
seeing Key and Harrison Ford hug it out after how many years of not seeing each other. So that was the only reason why I went. I didn't really care about what was going on. I did see though, what was that World War I German Quiet on the Western Front, I think.
Yeah, really
That
good
one
movie.
won a lot of awards. So there was people in front of me that were they were in the audience, and they got upset every time they'd win. I guess because they wanted other movies to win, and they were like, "This motherfucking movie better not win again." And then they won another award. So
That's not very nice. You should be happy.
but other than that,
They don't appreciate good cinema, is what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool looking movie. I'm a big war movie aficionado, I guess. But
Which movie?
just All Quiet on the Western Front.
That looks crazy.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it should be on Netflix. Yep.
The soundtrack's really cool, and they actually won an award for that as well. But
I was cruising through
other than
Netflix
that,
and I saw the trailer to it pop up, and it was pretty mesmerizing. I'll have to check it out.
and then
it'll make me
other
want
than
to play
that,
Battlefield.
I went to a bar on this
Jeez,
past
man.
weekend as well too. Sorry, I went to a speakeasy. Actually, it was kind of cool.
Whoa, throwback!
We needed a password to get in.
Time traveling over there.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, the building was around since like 1920 something. The guy said, and
Wow.
it survived the fire, and it was a shoe repair shop, all kinds of cool stuff. So
I know.
I've been doing a lot. And
this is really going. I think this show's really going to your head. You're going to Oscar watch parties with red carpets, and now you're going to speakeasies with the big dogs. Jeez, exclusive
just to
clubs.
give you advice too. I'm also a dad, so I'm taking my son to school and picking him up every day. I'm also finishing up. I got to finish my LinkedIn profile. I got to finish a resume. I haven't uploaded a YouTube video in like 7 days now. I feel like, and I'm still working on that. I went and played World War III recently because that was the only game I could play. Yeah, we'll talk about that later when we get to that. I probably maybe like a quick shot thing because maybe quicker than maybe, but still, yeah, I'm out here doing a lot.
Yeah. All right then. Yeah, that'll be cool. So what I did video game wise is I hit up the finals some. I played a decent amount of that, and then dude, I got rehooked on Rainbow Six, man. It's like a warm blanket. It's like a warm blanket going back to that game, and it's always there. It's got its own vibe. It's just like, yeah, you know what I mean? So, dude, we put our new baby down. My wife put him down at like 10 o'clock and said he'll probably wake up at like 3:30 a.m. to be fed. And it was my turn to give him a bottle. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to stream until 3 a.m. And that's what I did. And so I stayed up until 3 a.m. I played Rainbow Six ranked for like 6 hours. Just loving it with friends, having a good time, getting sweaty. I'm back, baby. I got almost a 1.3 KD in ranked this season. I'm like top 25%. Don't even worry about it. You know, you're too old. You're too old to play Rainbow. I'm clicking heads. It's easy.
Yeah, that flick you had you put on Twitter was pretty disgusting.
I did see that.
There are many of those. Okay, guys, I'm pretty good at the game. I'm high silver, easy high silver. So yeah, I had so much fun playing that. Been sprinkling in some 2042 when I can. And I think I'm kind of revolving back to where my gaming always settles into. I always settle into like wanting a really sweaty competitive game. And then when I want to chill, I like to run around on Battlefield. And I'm kind of settling into that Rainbow Six Battlefield like rotation where I
just back and forth,
sweat and chill kind of thing. And that's kind of where I belong. And that's what I like to do. So I'm getting kind of kind of locked back into that. And then the finals was really, really interesting. It's shaking up things a little bit, and I definitely want to get into that. I'm trying to think.
I never got access.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to tell Rockhound. He'll send it up the chain. He's got connections. He'll get it figured out. But yeah, we need to have him come on and talk about everything going on with that again. Dude, he's like an encyclopedia for Embark. It's cool.
Yeah, I like his stuff. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, his content's been doing great, of course. He makes really, really good videos. Oh, really quick, Redbeard. I have to answer this question because I love these mice, and of course I'm not sponsored. My channel sucks, but Myonics. If you got a big hand, this mouse, dude, like, look how it's a massive mouse.
That's a beefy looking mouse, I'll be honest.
But it's got like a place for your ring finger and your pinky finger to rest, so you can actually palm grip a mouse. So this is what a Samsung Galaxy looks like in my hand. S21, like the bigger one.
It's the big one. Yeah, it looks like a.
So in this mouse is like, dude, the
Got
Myonics
farm hands.
the Myonics Naos Pro, NAOS Pro, dude. All about it. And then Osiris, I heard that Siege on console's gotten a lot better. I saw some really cool clips of that mousetrap catching people. Hearing a lot of really good stuff about people getting banned for using keyboard and mouse on console. So that's like super exciting for the console community. That's like a really, really big deal. And I'm wondering if some of that same technology couldn't be used to get into the Cronuses, catching the Cronuses and stuff in there.
I'm just seeing a cat right now.
God.
Freaking out slowly.
Is the cat okay?
Yeah, he's
so
like
cute.
That one's like 17, so he's just like doing his thing. I don't know.
Dude,
Old man status.
Some cats just live forever. There's still a cat named Bob at my parents' house that was there when I was in high school, dude.
Oh my god,
he is so old.
Bob doing it, man.
Bob's vibing. He's living his best life, to be honest. So yeah, I guess if you guys want to, we could talk about the finals and see what goes on. Neither one of you guys got to play it.
I did not even try because I had so much going on, but I watched.
Even if I did get access, I don't think I would even had time to really sit down and play it.
Yeah, Zach, Bob is still alive. So anyway, I made a pretty comprehensive video about the finals and everything I thought about it. I got into some weird stuff. Overall, the good. Destruction, amazing. I don't want to get into it's like this game, it's like this game, it's like this game. It's unique. Sure, you can say, this came from this game and this aspect of it came from this game or whatever you want to do. You can do that stuff all day. But it's the first time it's been put together like this and ran pretty darn smooth for a closed beta. That's the other thing I really, really appreciated is this actually was a closed beta. At the time, I kind of haven't played it in a minute, but after like the first week, they already had 3 patches out fixing bugs.
Oh, wow.
And that's likely the reason that they did it on Steam and not on console, because it's a lot quicker to get stuff out on Steam and get updates pushed to PC to try to fix stuff a little easier. So I'm guessing that's why they did that. I would expect a console test really soon. Tons of people are excited for console. But yeah, it's different, and that's so refreshing. It's not a copy paste of anything. It's its own vibe. It's its own mechanics. I'm a little nervous for it because I don't know how it's going to be replayability wise. If this is the mode and that's all you have, it might get a little old. It's going to really need a robust ranking system, I think, to keep people into it. Like
how many maps were there in the beta?
There were 2 in the beta.
Okay.
So, and I have no, I just, before I
the next big esports thing.
It could be. Before I decide though, I want to know what kind of content's going to be at launch.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I'm a little concerned about is Nexon. So, Yeah, it's definitely enough content for a beta, right? They're just doing proof of concept. They're fixing bugs. No,
Right.
I have no problems with the beta at all. Like I said, I'm really happy to see a near. I don't know if they're considered AAA or AA, but I'm excited to see like a big studio doing an actual beta and fixing stuff. It's not a playtest
What
demo like we see.
constitutes the difference between AAA and indie?
That's
You
what I
know,
don't
is
know.
it?
I don't know. And you
I'm pretty
think
sure.
if
I mean,
you would think
you know,
I would
is it
know.
money? Is it?
I would say it's.
you know,
I would say it's
personnel?
money. I would say money at this point.
Because if you have a
'Cause-
5-man team, but they have like a shit ton of money, would they be considered? You know,
This
AAA
has
at
to
that
be
point?
this has to be right there. When I think AAA, I think the biggest ones, you think EA, you think Activision, you think Ubisoft,
Yeah,
you think like 343,
the ones that have been in
Microsoft.
business for years. Yeah.
Yeah, and this one's just kind of
established.
new, and it's people that left Embark or people that left Dice. So I want to say AA, but like I don't know how it fits in there.
Did it? I mean, I
Um,
guess I was gonna ask you, but we really won't know till launch. Is kind of like we talked about last week. Is it going to be more of like, I mean, last week we called it almost like a proof of concept, but it's obviously, it's going to be way beyond that. But we won't really know until we see what everything looks like at launch, what the post-launch content and everything looks like. But I would agree. I would say this is a AAA studio game at this point.
I would like a
because
roadmap.
the experience.
yeah,
Yeah, roadmap for sure. But I'd say AAA based on that you have the credentials behind all these developers is pretty good.
yeah, it's definitely AAA quality. There were of course some bugs, there were of course some problems, but like I said, 3 patches already. It fixed a lot of the glaring ones pretty quick. I'm a little bit worried. So my concerns are the game mode. If this is the game mode, I feel like it has a couple flaws, and maybe this could be balanced out of it. There are a few times where once you're occasionally a team or two will jump out into the lead. So essentially think plunder, right? And how boring kind of plunder could be. You're just going for cash. And a lot of times a team or two will jump out way in front and you can't catch them. And there'll be like 2 or 3 minutes on the clock, and there's really no way that you can catch up with some of these teams. So you're just kind of like running around, killing, kind of just running out the clock. That happens a couple times. And where it's like in extraction modes and like the big time game modes, or even like CSGO, Rainbow Six, Valorant, you can always clutch around up until the time runs out. In a BR, if you're at the end of it, it's pretty darn tense. There were a few matches where it's just like, oh, well, we've already won this, or like, oh, we've already, like, there's no way we can catch them. So it got a little bit weird with a couple of the game modes, and that could be balanced out of it. You could do like,
I'm gonna say, yeah. Would you include SBMM at that point?
I think it's going to need SBMM to work because there's so much to it. There's a lot of detail that was really cool. So like, the gas grenades, so the gas was flammable. So if someone threw a gas grenade, you could throw like a Molotov into it and it would burn the gas. Like the gas would light on fire and burn out. So there was like a bunch of neat stuff like this. So there's tons of playability. There's a lot that could go into your strats. There's a lot to go into your contestant build. So I think, and how I think skill-based matchmaking should be done is with a ranked system. They've already said they're going to have a ranked system. I think they need to have a stellar ranked system with awesome rewards, and people could really get into it. And then casual mode, of course, is like incredibly light or no skill-based matchmaking in the casual mode. If you want to play people of your same level, go play ranked. And I think that's going to be the way to do it, because if you get there's a skill gap here. When you play against teams who kind of know what's up, know how to use destruction. There were a couple metas that would form, like the heavy contestants had a lot of health. Time to kill was really long, and especially theirs was really long. Heavy builds run in with a healer behind them. They could just run around, run through you, hit you with a sledgehammer, one tap you. It was pretty wild. So there was some stuff like that needs balance, but I think it sounds like it's headed in the right direction. I'm just a little bit concerned about the game mode getting a little stale. The other thing, so let's talk about that for a second. So, and again, guys, I'm not trying to be negative Nancy over here to get clicks, all right? I'm not being controversial to get clicks. I'm just raising general questions, all right? We're being good journalists. So in the playtest, I pulled up the Steam database numbers. It peaked as soon as the thing went live with 13,300, and then it's kind of leveled out to like to 3,000 to 4,000. Like is kind of with a peak at 4,500. So you have roughly a third of the people who got in are still playing. Is that alarming? I don't know.
It's hard to tell because of the beta, man. It's again,
I think
they know it's just a test. It's just 2 maps. It's 1 game mode. No proper ranking system. So I mean, yeah, we won't know until actual release.
Agreed. I just saw people. I saw people citing this, and I'm kind of like, first off, you can completely throw out the numbers because not everybody got in. So you're just looking at trends. And then, like you said, there's no ranked mode yet. I think ranked mode could really pop in this game. Like it kind of does an Apex.
I think so too. That's what it looks like.
I mean, it is like a game show. So I mean, I think
imagine people that did try to get in, actually got in, how much those numbers would go up from there.
Yeah, let's see what an open beta does.
Maybe 5, even 6,000 players and concurrent. So that's even more. So it's I would wait until
I think
open
so
beta. I'm guessing. Is there an open beta coming out? I don't know if they've announced that.
They haven't officially said. I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm thinking probably after the console test, they will be an open beta. Yeah. That just makes the most sense. Test it on PC, get it right. I mean, they introduce those patches, test it on console. That'll run its course. Open beta for both PC, console. See what happens after that, and then closer to release. Question is, I mean, did they, with this playtest, do they have a release date?
This year. That's all they've said.
Because I'm thinking like holiday of this year towards the end.
Yeah, I wondered if they wanted to avoid COD and do their own thing in the summer is what I thought would be best. But I don't. It's free to play, so I don't know if it matters that much because people aren't going to have to spend money to try it. So I mean, it's not like
it is free to play too. So then maybe the holiday doesn't really make sense. But then again, I mean, how quick they can get their stuff. Also, Redbeard mentioned that like AAA keeps everything in house, while like AA like outsources a bunch of stuff. So since everything is like in house with Embark, it seems more on the AAA side. But with that being said, too, I mean, it's everything's in house. Everything's got to get fixed in house. Everything's got to be implemented in house. So how long is that going to take? You said that there's 3 patches between this beta.
Before I kind of quit playing and quit following it, there were like 3 patches in the first week.
So it could be more by the time it ended. So we'll see. Yeah, there could be more. It's just a matter of time at this point.
And the other thing is, like, even though this
game, story of our lives,
wait and see, right? We always say potential, wait and see. We get that on shirts, man. Like, yeah, if we ever do scope merch, it's gonna say this game has potential. Like,
wait and see.
Wait and see on the back. That's all. But even if this game like isn't for you, like some people don't like the aesthetic, which I think the aesthetic fits kind of the lore. I talked about that last week. But even if it doesn't,
the lore,
this makes me excited for this studio moving forward. I think our creators could be super cool. Whatever they make, this being like new, innovative, smooth, really new kinds of mechanics with the server side destruction and everything in an arena shooter.
Yeah,
like this is going to put that studio on the map, and I'm excited for their future.
Man, so I'm getting major early 2000s like EA vibes.
That's what when
they broke off. What did they break off of from originally when they made Medal of Honor back in the day?
I don't remember where those guys came from.
I've talked about this a long time ago, and this is kind of like the second renaissance era of gaming, where I would say 80s and 90s was like the first generation, and then I would say that if anything, this is the third, because then you had early 2000s when when EA was formed and stuff like that. Those people always broke off bigger teams and made their own game, which then blew up. And then they got stagnant. So now you have like the third iteration of people breaking off from bigger companies, doing their own thing. And now I see that happening again with Arc Raiders in this game.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it looks good, and I'm just sitting here waiting. I'm like, okay, these two games need to come out, and then I need them to basically remake Battlefield. It's like what I
and
want.
just start pushing out other games, other titles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
imagine this with more combined arms, with this destruction and this quality. Like, man,
Yeah.
it would blow Battlefield out the
I
water. I
I
feel like
think
at this
that's going to
point.
be
Yeah.
a voice that gets louder and louder. Like how they wanted,
Mhm.
Yep.
but I doubt they do because like they left Dice, they probably left that behind, so they had more creative freedom to do crazy stuff. So I don't see him doing that. But man, there's going to be
Oh wait,
if
no, it
these
wasn't
two
EA. They
games,
broke off.
if these two games that are successful, there's going to be a pretty loud movement to get them to make a Battlefield competitor. I feel like
Yeah,
100%.
I agree. Like, just make a modern. Even I mean, Blue remembers like Medal of Honor Warfighter. That was an EA product. I don't, and part of the Dice Studios worked on both of those games, the 2010 one and Warfighter. So, um, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
even
had that wrong.
doing
I think it was
something like
Activision
that.
that broke off from EA and it
Yeah,
made Call of
yeah,
Duty. That's what it
yep,
was.
yeah,
Yep.
yep. Um,
So
but yeah, let's see. I mean, they don't even need to just go after like just man, just like give them the rights to Medal of Honor or something, please. Like this,
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
what's messed
sweet.
up is the graphics for this and the gameplay and everything looks better than. I mean, you would know, Crash. I mean, to me, it looks better than like anything Battlefield 2042 had. Everything looks the character
it's
model,
on a
everything looks good.
smaller
It's
scale too, so it's kind of
right.
hard to tell what happens if they go bigger. But yeah, I mean,
But you
just the
even look
close
at like the
quarters
Medal of Honor
combat.
games, right? Like Warfighter was only 6v6. That was made for like a COD competitor originally. Like you don't no you don't need to go big Battlefield scale. I feel
Yeah,
or
that
do like an extraction
Yeah,
shooter. Be sick.
Warfighter was definitely slept on back in the day too. So
Hardcore, yeah.
yeah, it just came out at the wrong time. The same thing happened with Titanfall 2
Mm-hmm.
when Respawn
Wrong
made that.
time and had bugs that they didn't have time to resolve. So
Titanfall 2
Mhm.
said.
So I think
yeah,
after those, I wouldn't even really call them failures, but mishaps plus everything happened Battlefield when these guys broke off. They were like, you know what, let's just do it on our own. And this is what they get. This is what we get. And this is again, this is the next generation of gaming. I feel like, and
yeah.
we're it's kind of cool being a part of it and seeing it.
It's like the foundation, I guess. It's like this is the foundation for the future almost. Is kind of what it looks like to me with
Yeah,
Yep.
everything they're doing here.
and
The
seeing
other
how
thing,
well it ran. Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
other
I mean,
thing that
sorry, what FPSs were you getting during the beta? Actually curious.
it
Like,
ran like similar to like COD multiplayer. So, and I had everything cranked. So if I wasn't streaming 1440p, I have a 3090. I was around
Mhm.
150 frames. It was staying over my monitor refresh rate, so it was staying over 144.
all that going on, yeah.
With all that stuff going on, so it ran pretty well. And then when I was streaming, I streamed from the same machine. So I was getting 120 to 130 frames, not bothered me at all. Played fine. And I could have turned stuff down and bumped that back up and been chilling. So yeah, it ran well for a beta, and I'm sure they'll keep optimizing it. So that wasn't a problem at all. The other thing is, like, I know we want them to make a Battlefield, but I don't think they have as much going on server side as like 128 players or 64 players. So that probably helps
Yeah.
them a little bit, but the destruction's crazy. So the other thing that's concerning for me for this game, my reservation is a little bit of Nexon. So Nexon is a video game publisher. Rockhound told me this because I brought this up in my video and he kind of explained it to me. Nexon has a sketchy past with some of the games that they've published with loot boxes, deceptive practices like that. They've had some sexual misconduct allegations and investigations and stuff, and just like kind of all this shady stuff that I mean, like we've seen at Activision and stuff, has happened at Nexon. They've had a couple lawsuits against them allegedly, I believe. And I looked up some articles that I could. So Nexon is something that we need to watch now. Rockhound said that they are not publishing this game, though. They just simply own majority stock of Embark. So Embark is still doing the publishing and everything, like independently, quote unquote. But Nexon is in there, and that's just something they haven't been in the news for bad reasons in the video game publishing side lately that I know of. I could be bad journalist. I don't know. But they faced some charges and some investigations for some shady stuff in the back. So we'll just have to keep an eye on. And what I'm thinking, where I'm going with that is we just need to keep an eye on the microtransactions. Free to play game, it's going to have a ton of them. As long as they're cosmetic and just for looks and stuff, who cares? Sell them, whatever. This is a game set up for cosmetics, right? They can go crazy with them. Being a futuristic
with the lore and
it's a
setting,
it's a futuristic urban game show where people are gonna, they're doing it for the spectacle, so people are gonna dress crazy, fashion stuff. Like it's a perfect game for microtransactions for cosmetics. So as long as they keep it that way, they don't have any.
The arena, it's self-aware that it's an arena shooter. So
yeah, like a gladiator thing.
Yeah, that's why I love Radical Heights so much until it.
Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna. So no, that's really cool too. Like the announcers and stuff really give you that feel. It's like a Hunger Games kind of thing, and you get that vibe too from like the in-game events. So they have like random in-game events. So like I think of like the Hunger Games when like the game master would like drop in different things or different loot crates or whatever. This would have meteor showers, weather changes, low gravity events. Oh, excuse me. The dead go boom. So it'd be like martyrdom. When you shoot a body, it would blow up when you kill someone. Yeah.
Even
so it was really leaning into the game show thing.
Even like the Running Man back in, that was at a Schwarzenegger movie in the early 90s, I think. Maybe very late 80s, was basically the same concept.
Yeah.
Boom. So that's it. That's all I know. A lot of potential, and we'll wait and see.
Yep.
We will indeed.
We'll just keep saying that forever.
Just gonna say that every single time. Yeah, so the next thing I wanted to talk about that people are probably gonna think I'm a negative Nancy trash can for. There's an article going around about 2042, and I'll tell you right now, I've been on the positive side of 2042 lately. I have commended the devs on bringing it around, doing a lot of work over the last year and a half or so, and they didn't have to. Like, they sold their copies. They could have rode off into the distance, said, whoops, we'll get it right next time, kept the money, moved on. They didn't. They fixed it, which I appreciate. However, my humble opinion, it's very important to keep in mind where we are, where we came from, and where we're headed, and like what it actually is. So there's definitely things to commend them on, but we need to stay grounded, and we need to expect better next time.
Yeah.
So
hold their feet to the fire.
That's essentially what I'm doing. And this could be one of those, it could be one of those articles that is going for clicks, getting a little controversial. That happens in journalism today.
What? No way.
Believe it or not, guys. Believe it or not. Sometimes people farm impressions. This is breaking news. You heard it here first. So I don't know, but there's an article. A lot of the developers were tweeting this out, saying that it made them feel good and stuff, which the developers themselves, I think, should feel good. It's the management, in my opinion, that should not. But there's an article in PC Gamer. I'll get your guys' take on it. So I'm going to break it down really fast and then get your guys' opinion. It says, here's the thing. Battlefield 2042 is really good now. Some of the things I highlighted. I cannot overstate how good 2042's class system is. This is quoting the article, particularly because it's not just a reversion to classic Battlefield. Specialists are still completely intact with unique gadgets and passive abilities, but they exist within a larger class framework that limits which secondary they can access. So he's saying this is the best class system we've had because it didn't go back to it because the specialists stayed. Pretty wild accusations. Then down here it said Battlefield 2042's last season update was also pretty big too. The pretty big update, adding a new map, new specialists, 4 weapons, and a new light armor tank that has approximately 8 machine guns strapped to it. So this large, big season 4 update had one map and wouldn't hold a candle to any of the previous Battlefield's updates. Also, some observations. He said after a fun week, he loves all 4 maps added since launch: Stranded, Exposure, Spearhead, and Flashpoint. I would argue that Stranded and Spearhead are the only decent ones, and they're all very similar. He said he didn't see the big he said he didn't see the big deal about scoreboards when 2042 launched without one, but now that it's there, I do enjoy comparing my stats against everyone else's.
Well, that's the article, like, get rid of it.
Good,
Just
and you know what?
throw it
Good
away.
and bad points. Good and
Yeah.
bad points on that article for sure. Very objective, which is everything under the sun when it comes to articles. But I'm sorry, like the older Battlefields introduced entire countries for content. You know, like, hey, here's China and everything under the sun when it comes to Chinese maps. So it's just yeah. I would say I can't believe it's also 2023 and this is 2021. It took them this long to make it a somewhat decent game.
Getting fairly close to 2
Did I really
years.
believe in 2021? Are you kidding me? Like,
I still think it's like, I mean, Crash, you'll know better because you've been playing it, but like from the outside looking in, it still looks like this is what it should have been launch day almost.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Yeah. And these saying it's the best update ever. I mean, again, we've talked about it here on the scope a bunch. Is just go back and look at any of the Battlefield 3 or 4 DLCs, even the Battlefield 1 DLCs that were premium. Like this, nothing holds a candle to those. So you were getting, I think, 4 to 6 guns, including, and then you get gadgets. There'd be 4 new maps, multiple new vehicles. It wasn't even like funny. So definitely not comparable. But given where 2042 started and where it is, I guess getting a little bit bigger is a good thing. But I do think you need to be, like you said, Blue. It's definitely an objective take, right? It's biased. You need to look at it. Need to look at it from outside and understand what this is compared to previous Battlefields.
Yeah. So I think that's really well said. I think it's in a good spot now. I would even venture to say it's a good game now. But even with all these fixes where it's at now, it's the worst Battlefield that I've ever played.
Yeah.
It's still
yeah.
it's a good game, but it's the worst Battlefield. So I think this article needs to take it back about 25 to 30%. Just back off.
It's looking with very I would say like honeymoon phase eyes, where it needs to be like, it needs to like stay grounded in that aspect.
Yeah, and
I can't think of any other thing than honeymoon eyes. It's it's just again when he says like each of these maps are amazing and like I would probably venture to say about the same 2 maps are okay. They're not the best, and the reworks of the maps. I mean, I've been playing it recently, and that's it's
But I mean,
I just feel like the punching
feels
bag
like a
video
PR.
game.
It feels like a PR piece almost, because I know a lot of the developers reshared this and were like, "Oh, look," and I know that was a big thing on Twitter. I mean, all of the devs were sharing it. Like, look at the hard work.
Of course, they're going to share it.
So it feels like a PR piece because, you know, maybe he was. It's definitely not just a journalistic like approach to this from the outside, giving an honest review, because I definitely don't agree with the class system is the best ever.
No,
you know, there's like the specialist cannot.
If anything, it's more of a band-aid solution. It felt like
100%.
All right, we'll give you classes. Sorry, and then it's
right.
Like, and then when I was playing it, I was like, I don't really feel a difference between classes.
Right. You really need to, and that's the thing. I think that is one thing that really, on top of a bunch of other things. But if you bring specialists back for the next Battlefield title, I mean, just it's going to be a train wreck. I feel. I think that alone is almost a deal breaker for a lot of players after this game, especially after this game. I think like specialists, whether or not there's a class system implemented, I don't think they did it right. And you're right. It's definitely a Band-Aid solution. I think they should have gone with the operator type model instead. But to have, you're having the same specialist on opposing teams. Like it's basically like Clone Wars. It's just, really, really weird approach Um,
I was playing like in a whole
you know,
like bot lobby, just running around and seeing the clear distinction between the two factions. Just
Dude,
felt
yeah.
I was like, oh man, I wish
The AI
it
look good.
looked more like that. Yeah,
The
the
AI look
AI looks
really
better
good.
than the player models.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
for
do,
sure.
they do, and that's what everyone wants those to come back for the class systems. They look better than the specialist models. Really weird.
So
The fact
my
that they labeled them like assault,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
for sure.
support. And I was like, wait, wait, excuse me, you already had it in the game.
They
Oh
did.
Lord.
I know. Maybe
I just
that
feel like I
maybe
was gonna
that goes
say
to the
too,
battle royale thing that they were maybe like it was started as a battle royale and they had a pivot, right?
if
So
it was maybe in the battle royale only in Hazard Zone, maybe I can, say okay, fine. But what was it? I was just thinking like the thing from South Park when he gets out, he's like being I hear no bell. That's kind of like what I'm
yeah,
picturing Battlefield as. Like they just were the punching bag, they got the shit kicked out of them, and then the punching finally stopped, and now they're saying we did a good job. It's like you're still on the ground.
yeah, exactly.
Yep. So how do my sleep deprived brain is trying to put a bow on this, but I essentially want to say that like this article could have been written about how Battlefield 2042 is pretty good now. But I just think we as a community need to keep in mind and not get gaslit into thinking that 2042 is the standard for a good Battlefield going forward. I think we still need to have our standards set at like the Battlefield 1 level as the last good Battlefield at launch, content wise, immersion wise, graphics wise. And I just don't want to see it happen again. I appreciate the devs fixing it. I appreciate EA giving them the funds and the time to do it. I just don't want to have to do it again. Like I don't want this next time to be the same. And it's always have to just instead of getting years of content that are just fixing the old game, I want new content at launch. I want the game to start here. Like just please, I just don't want people to get gaslit into thinking this is how it should be going forward. I think the franchise deserves a little bit better. And
Yeah.
I think this article went like 20 to 25% too hard.
Yeah, I mean, we were using like objective and stuff like that. It feels more. It feels. I meant to say it felt more subjective, right? Based on maybe this
Yeah.
person's personal feelings instead of like objectively would be like factual
No,
truths. Which
I said
you
that,
really
and I was like, someone will catch that.
yeah. No, and then I was like, man, what am I doing? Yeah, but I thought about it for a minute and I was like, okay, but yeah, it's hard to look at it. How do you look at it objectively though, unless you're comparing 1-to-1 DLCs versus
And if
seasons?
you do compare it objectively, then it becomes a worse game.
Yes, so you have to,
yeah.
100%. So you have to approach it subjectively, which is what this person's doing. I agree, Crash. It does feel kind of like a PR piece, and maybe they're trying to like see like this is good, right? You guys are okay with this, right? For next time. So let's hope that's not what it is. Definitely, I think overall, this really, I've been playing Battlefield since the very beginning with 2042, and this definitely soured the franchise for me, which it was already soured from 5. So, unless there's like a complete 180 here, I'm done with this series, which is crazy because I used to, I loved Battlefield over Call of Duty for so long and still do when you're talking good Battlefields. But yeah, definitely. Maybe they're just trying to bring players back in. Who knows? But yeah, I agree with what you said, Crash. It's definitely, we can't look at this as a standard of things for sure.
That's my hope. I'm just here. I'm that little voice in the Battlefield in a tiny corner of the Battlefield community going, come on guys, let's learn from this and not repeat it. Please don't repeat it. That was
exactly.
that was like my video that I did about, I kind of made it a game show where I put quotes up of broken Battlefield launches and you try to guess the game. And it's like trying to vividly illustrate that they keep releasing broken games. Can we just not one time, man? Like, can we just not?
And then
it's,
again, then
it's
it goes
crazy
back to
because
it goes back to Embark Studios, and it goes back to
Right.
yeah.
But it's like every year, you notice every year when we're leading up to a Battlefield launch, everyone's like, please, everyone's saying that, like, please be good at launch, like, don't be broken at launch. And then it happens, and everyone's just like, oh my God, we've come to be conditioned to just understanding that Battlefield launches are going to be horrible. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Or
not
just
good.
AAA games in total
Yeah.
are gonna be
Games in general. Yeah, for anything that's not indie, it feels like.
Yep. So I guess to wrap this up, here you go. Okay. Thank you, EA. Thank you, DICE, for fixing the game when you wouldn't have had to because you got your money up front. Thank you for doing that. The game is much better. It's a decent first-person shooter now, but in my opinion, so that's not really worth that much. My opinion is it's the worst Battlefield to date. It's playable in a state now. It's fun. You can have a good time. That's Battlefield for you, but it's still the worst Battlefield. And let's get it right next time. Off the rip.
It's like Battlefield Hardline's like really ugly redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, people.
Who came from a family that was inbreeding.
There's still some.
What it feels like.
Hey, there's some hardline truthers out there that like that game. So you gotta.
I mean, you know what's messed up is you look back at it and you're like, man, some of that multiplayer looked pretty cool, at least with the weapons. But yeah, I mean, it was still a terrible game. But
it was just off the Battlefield 4 engine, so I mean, like it was fine.
It was one of those ones that probably should have just been titled something differently. If it were titled something different, it was meant to be kind of like a spinoff. But yeah, let's hope we get a revitalized franchise here.
I enjoyed the story on Hardline.
Yeah, I think the campaign
Miami
story was good.
Vice fan, so I thought that was kind of a cool like TV series show. But
well, it was also they got the guys who did the Dead Space games, right? Visceral to do that story, so you knew it was gonna be like better than typical Battlefield stories. I still think 3 was the best story wise. It was good stuff. But yeah, let's hope we get a good Battlefield next time.
Yeah, Bad Company, my opinion. Story.
That company was funny. For sure.
Buff has officially offended all of the redheaded people in chat. So now we have to cancel Buff and do like I did and mute him on Twitter. Just mute him on Twitter.
Damn
it. Have to mute him. That'll learn him. Teach him a lesson. All right, guys.
I was gonna say, to kind of like wrap it up even more. It's just like for what it is, it's okay.
Yeah, agreed.
That's it.
There's always Portal.
There is that hasn't got any updates.
Dinosaurus Rex in chat says DICE mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Let's hope so.
Pretty much.
I just want 2142.
Again, I want. Man, I think. Again, we did like a whole episode on this. I want the next Battlefield to just be called Battlefield and be like a complete freaking redo. Like
they're like Humpty Dumpty right now. I feel like with this series, just
kind of like what they do like Medal of Honor.
Just plain.
And when they rebooted Medal of Honor, they just called it Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Oh, for the 2010 one, yeah, that was epic. And then they just
so good. I don't care what anyone says.
They blew it. Petition for Medal of Honor to come back.
But for real, dude,
oh man,
straight up
soundtrack. Story, god damn it! All right, let's not get into that. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I know. We'll have to do a Medal of Honor episode. I still listen to that soundtrack. Guilty.
I just say I used to like when I was like running in the army. I would like legit play that soundtrack and run 12 miles. It was such an epic soundtrack.
For Rabbit, man.
I can't do that to Battlefield 2042 soundtrack. That soundtrack sucks. Was that mumble? Yeah.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, it's not good.
And then I listen to like Battlefield 1 and I just start crying. Like that flute, man. The flute hits Diffie.
Oh man,
dude, yeah.
Dude, when they introduced that first mission, I was like, "Oh, this is the route we're going." Okay.
Yeah. At launch,
Thanks,
at launch when they had those goofy ass voice lines with like "Angel does it again" and don't be sad. This is how it works out sometimes, and all that stupid crap. I made a video on Twitter. It's like I showed that like beginning intro part of Battlefield 1 where it's like we push or they push, we push, and it showed like the guy standing on all the shells and the bodies with the pistols on each other at the end, you know, like it was just insane, like tears in my eyes, goosebumps, man. And that was something, right? Like you go to that. How did we get from this to that? It's just mind blowing. Like,
Angel does it again. It's so bad. It's so bad.
That did. I'm ready for round 2.
And then they just got rid of it, and now they just stand there fucking awkwardly.
Now they just stand there. They just deleted it.
The best part is they were in like the sound recording studio. They're like, God, yes,
nailed
it. That's it. Great stuff.
I thought I saw somewhere like the Angel voice actor was like getting some shit on Twitter too and stuff. Like that's unnecessary. But
it's not
like,
his fault. But
no, I just imagine him in the recording studio, and then
that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Can you say it again? This time with like 10% more goofiness? Sure, man. Like, yeah. It was.
He's asked, what game is this for? Nah, you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah,
it's under NDA.
New Fortnite DLC.
He goes home thinking like he's recording.
So these are really wacky voice lines. There's got to be some cartoon. Game and
like some Comedy Central.
Battlefield. Oh no!
It's like, man, I just recorded voice lines for Hello Kitty Island Adventure DLC, dude. I'm excited. So yeah,
ready.
Okay. Controversial statement before we get into quick shots, which I don't have any, so I'm just gonna make stuff up and go off what Blue tells me. I'm hearing things, Buff, that we might need to try Fortnite. There's going to be a first-person no build mode.
Oh yeah, totally. I actually got invited to the early play session for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I might try it. I'm not scared. I'm secure in my manhood. I'll try it. But I'm just hearing lots of rumblings that that's going to be fire. And I mean,
I think I mean, it's already confirmed, right? So I mean, I'm sure
they've done pictures of it.
I mean, I'll give it up to Fortnite, man. Talk about longevity. That game has been going since what, 2018? I think it was, right? 2018 or maybe even earlier. 17? Yeah, it might have been 2017, and they've been killing it, man. Talk about just longevity and keeping content fresh. And now they're coming in with this stuff like no build mode, first person no build. There's a lot of they're doing it right. That's for sure.
Just to clarify, duels for new folks in chat. Buff did not get invited. Buff is a weapons expert and a Milsim Andy. So we make fun of him for playing Fortnite. We say he's a closet Fortniter, and it's a joke. So
or is it?
Well, we think he's
you be the judge.
We think that he's a VTuber on another site, so he has little anime buff, and we can't exactly pin it on him, but we think he has like a VTuber Fortnite channel somewhere. And we're trying to find it.
I know someone who's trying to get into VTubing, and he's it's a different world over there.
I'm weird, man.
No offense to anyone that does it in chat, but it's just not for me. It's just not for me.
What about the AI ones that were like blowing up? Did you see that?
You know what? They did that for like rappers as well too, and it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. It'll go away. There's something. They can't replace us. Look at these beautiful people on your screen right now. They can't. There's no AI that can recreate this.
Yeah, you're right. I was getting worried that they were going to take my job, but you can't replace this moneymaker right here.
They're gonna take my job. They took your job.
I'm sorry, podcast listeners, that you can't see my gorgeous face. Someone should tell me that. I wanted to ask that. Does anybody who listens to podcasts hit me up wherever you can? I'm out there. I'm out and about. Does anyone listen to when they watch Spotify stuff use the video feature? Because we could technically put the video on Spotify.
I'm in the car listening to podcast. I'm out and about doing that. I don't, I'm not really Spotify hasn't really.
Lou's on the red
promoted
carpet,
video.
man. He doesn't have time to watch it. He's got to listen to it.
Oh, that's right.
Like
Yeah.
listen, I'm like self-help audiobooks only. I'm on that grind.
He's on red carpets and at speakeasies with his high rolling friends.
5 ways to make $1 million in 7 days.
Yeah.
There you go.
What
Easy.
could go wrong? Has to work easy.
Totally. If you write it on paper, it's totally a triangle scheme. Anyways.
Yeah. Pyramid schemes are the best. Buff, do you want to tell me about the season that's reloaded of Call of Duty? I'll try to find some kind of video to. I mean, the production team will try to find some video to play.
I think there was a trailer. Maybe
The new map.
If you look at like Charlie Intel, new map, and there was like a brief. I don't know if it was even official, but there was the leaked trailer was out there. Yeah, so you're getting a new map for Season 2 Reloaded. It's going to come for Modern Warfare 2 Wednesday, which is the 15th. I think it's 9 o'clock Pacific Standard, so it should be around, I think, noon Eastern Standard Time then. And you're getting a new multiplayer map, 66 map. You're getting the SR-25 as the new marksman rifle, finally.
I know you're excited for that.
Yeah. I was doing the conversions with the 458 SOCOM and using it as a SR-25. Yeah, back in Modern Warfare 2019. Like it was like I discovered that as like the secret Warzone destroyer weapon early on. It was just crushing things. So now to have an actual SR-25 is pretty sick. You're also going to get a lot of new bundles. So you're getting a Farah bundle, a kind of price bundle for the raid. So you should have 3 skins for price, and then you're getting 2 ghost bundles, which look awesome. So here we are in Season 2, and I know we talked about this a couple times on the previous shows. All of a sudden, at Season 2 Reloaded, they're bringing in 3 members of Task Force 141, whereas till now we've only had Gaz, who came at Season 1 Reloaded. So now they're just dumping 141 at us. Now we just need Soap and Alejandro, and you have that complete. So maybe this is kind of a nod to things getting a little bit more grounded for Season 3, if only for that season, maybe, or at least they're bringing in more like the skins for price and all them look like they're taken from, they are their campaign skins from different campaign missions. So
now with the weird mask over their face and
yeah, no, it's not that. I think Farah's is a little goofy looking, but Ghost and Price's skins look really good. Ghost has one goofy one, but he has a really grounded one, and Price's are all campaign also. So I'm pumped for that. But yeah, the new map looks pretty awesome, and I know that makes you happy, Crash.
What?
more kitty ears.
Yeah, no more kitty ears. Yeah, the map looks
I
good,
did see
though.
it. I saw a tweet. I forgot who it was, but it was they were just saying like, I wish the next campaign for the next Modern Warfare is more. I mean, we said that for Modern Warfare 2 that we wanted more clean house type missions, and we got weird, fight the tank, running around in circles, just not super grounded in reality. I don't
Go
know.
play Arma.
I did.
Put that on the
just go play Arma. If you want to do CQB stuff, go play Arma 3 and join a milsim and spend hours.
Yeah. Drive around and dig ditches and build emplacements and all that stuff. That's what you want.
I kind of do want to take full and complete credit for this map releasing early. I think
you did mention it.
I think this new map is 100% because of the scope and us talking about the lack of content.
I agree.
I know Bobby Kodak's in the chat. The Activision CEO. He watches the show. I'm not going to say he's a friend of the program because I think he's a bad guy. All right, I think he's kind of a bad guy. But he watches the show, and we just have to
an acquaintance of the show.
Yeah, I think he's a bad guy, but we need to take full credit for this, and you guys can thank us for some extra content. Right?
Yeah,
100%.
It is 100% us.
It's it's no secret. We had the show where that came out. I got on my soapbox, literally got on a soapbox and cried my little eyes out in anger that there wasn't enough Season 2 multiplayer content The very next day after the show released, Charlie Intel said they're moving this map up production to come out in season 2 Reloaded.
They said, we're sorry, the Scope podcast.
The Scope Live FPS podcast said there's not enough content. They spoke, we listened. Here we are.
You're welcome.
Sips tea.
That's
That's
how it
not the
went down.
case. And that whole last bit was complete bullshit. But I'm happy to see some content because we were complaining about it. Right.
So was clipping that. Look how conceited they sound.
Look how they think they did this.
cocky.
Someone's good. Yeah. I hope the show grows. And that's going to be one of the best parts if this show ever does grow. That people are going to take stuff. People are going to take stuff out of context and try to roast us with it. And it's going to be great.
Oh, look at that. Like a Red Beer said, just, Pyramid Screams are great. And that's definitely, going on a shirt.
What could go wrong? Yeah. Everybody's him and Michael in chat are already clipping stuff when I say dumb things. So this is, yeah. I feel like.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say one day the scope is going to grow. I hope would be really cool. And then it's just going to crash and burn because I say stupid stuff all the time.
Everyone,
controversy.
I noticed on Twitter now, like a lot of the larger Warzone creators have just been complaining nonstop for like a couple, I don't know, like a month or two now, a couple months.
I've stopped watching that, man.
And I'm just like over here, I'm just like, man, I sarcastically was like the same thing we just said. I was like, I paved the way for all of you to complain about broken stuff.
I saw that. Yeah.
Because like, dude, when Warzone 1 got really bad, I was like, okay, this is broken, blah, 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 blah. This is what's wrong. And everyone was just comfortable with their zero recoil guns. And now that they can't have that and they have to like, things are different, everyone's freaking out. So I just think it's funny. I got some joy out of that. It's just like, man, you guys.
You're a real trailblazer when it comes to complaining on the internet.
I really am, but
I think we do a good job at complaining around here.
I think I honestly think there's gonna be some more of those foxy big bulge pants because we praise them so much. It's a great skin. I bought 3 actually, and I got a cosplay costume. So I think maybe my next live stream I will be that fox guy.
Is there gonna be an under the desk cam? Or...
You wish.
You might have to. If you're going this, you might have to stream on.
I'll give you the private link.
He can do that on Twitch. He can do that on Twitch.
No, I was going to say you might have to stream on Kick. You might have to go over to Kick if you're going to do that.
We're going to get a hot tub in the background here. It's going to be...
No, you don't need anything for Kick. They're streaming porn over there. You can do whatever you want. So.
Man, people would pay some good money for that. Just saying.
Yeah, under the desk cam would really nice for Kick. You'd fit right in.
All right. Well, there you go. If Infinity Ward keeps releasing some awesome bundles like that, I'll do it. Well,
we could talk about it. I think Warzone feels like shit, dude. Warzone 2.
Have you? When was the last time you played
content wise?
I played Resurgence last week.
I'll be honest. I have not played since December 20th, and I have no desire to because I'm just on I'm just loving DMZ.
I bet DMZ probably plays okay, but dude, like
I've seen a lot of DMZ content come out, but it's usually people just doing like a lot of like solo, kill all the captains or just I've seen a lot of like solo DMZ videos recently. I don't know why it keeps getting recommended to me, but
the good thing about DMZ is like you can do anything in DMZ. You can do the solo stuff, you can do missions, you can usually like we're always doing missions and we just end up in PvP and it's just these epic gunfights where we're killing the entire server. But that's the thing, like that's why DMZ, thank God, because I don't know if I might have just not be making content if it weren't there. Because I think Warzone and Crash, since you've played it more recently, I mean, we talked about it before. I got really sick of the zone pulls is kind of what pulled me out of it there, those crazy zone pulls. I don't know if they even fixed that, but working that hard in the game and then just dying to some dumb stuff.
And it's that you're dying to the same shit since launch. You're dying to a Finnick, you're dying to a Finnick or an RPK, and then they added the Dragon's Breath shotgun. So you can get one tap to hip shot with that Dragon's Breath shotgun, which has a 25 round mag and you can hip fire it, but you can't one shot snipe somebody in the head. The balancing is mind numbing.
It's really bad. it's crazy because you don't run into that at all in DMZ. Even from the beginning, I've picked up maybe 2 RPKs that people brought in, and Fenix, you don't really see them
Yeah,
that
you
much.
probably don't see as many meta guns because of the insurance slots and people lose their weapons and stuff, so they're
Yeah,
not just everywhere.
you see a lot more tactical stuff too. Yeah, but like all this stuff, that's I guess a good, everything that we started this conversation with, everyone complaining about Warzone. None of that is a problem in DMZ. So I would say
Yeah, because
for
you're not going to
people,
get people grabbing their loadouts, every time they go in. And
yeah, I mean, exactly. If you die, you don't have your insurance. It's easy to get back, but it's also the firefights play completely differently. Like in Warzone, I feel like it's still, even when you're in firefights, it's very fast paced, and like you said, Crash, it's going to be the same stuff that you're going to die to every time. And then in DMZ, like those are firefights those are firefights where communication with your team and like smart play, right, pays off. And we win almost all of our gunfights just because we play it smart. Whereas Warzone, I think you can get away with more of the goofy, let me slide in and do some crazy stuff. It still feels like. But I mean, yeah, you've played it more recently, Crash. So what's the couple of issues you have with it currently?
First off, Redbeard, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. He said the scope gets canceled and it crashed and burned. Another t-shirt. I hope we don't get canceled, but we probably will.
That's
Anyway,
good.
hey,
I like it.
I'll give him one of these. And then
There it is. Great.
so I appreciate it, man. What's wrong with it? I think the weapon balance does not make any sense competitively, and maybe when I hear you talk about how good DMZ is, maybe they're balancing it for that. Maybe there's more people playing that, and that's what they're doing. Because like it doesn't feel good. The Ashika Island is balanced so weird. I remember in Rebirth we would kind of play it. So we played for wins, right? So we would kind of play Rebirth Island like. Find a spot, get your loot, get set up, get a good spot in the circle, and be ready to play the last 3 circle pulls to get because you could rack up some wins. I think I had almost a 40% win rate in Rebirth Island. So like that's how because it's fun to win. I think
when I was playing with you, those couple, I don't know, you and I played it a lot over a couple of months period there, and we were just like 8-10 wins in a play session. It was stupid.
Yeah. So then you couldn't. So there's that. But in Ashika, it's like you drop and there's people everywhere, and you fight and you fight and you fight and you get kills and you get kills and you die, and it's like 11th place, and you're like, there's still that many teams alive. I don't know how it works. Like every match was like that, dude.
Jeez.
Like, and you would redeploy, and you're like, nope, there's someone there. Nope, there's someone there.
Oh my god.
No, there's someone there. Like trying to regain, like there was no place to
Right.
go. So like those people get settled in and hunkered down and like it's over.
So you feel like there's too many players then on that map or what?
Maybe it does. Maybe the first circle is a little fast, so it pushes. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't feel good. But the weapon balance, the 2 main things for me, that's not even the main thing because I've won a few of Ashikas and they were okay. What I'm thinking is the weapon balance, like I said, makes 0 sense. I had so much fun later in Rebirth when there was only a couple guns that would one shot to the head. I agree the Car 98 was a little stout because it handled so well. But like where you had to use like a heavy sniper with a slow bullet, really slow ADS time, zoomed in shitty scope, and if you could hit somebody in the head, they would go down. That made it fun because you could pull some stuff off. With that being completely gone, and then you have silly broken stuff up close, and then you have the absolute worst netcode I've seen since Tarkov, like insanely bad feeling netcode in the Warzone servers. It just doesn't feel good. It's not fun like it used to be. I used to have a blast on Rebirth, man. And it just doesn't feel good. And I think that's why. Not 100% sure, but for me, weapon balance is terrible, and the net code is terrible. And however they have the maps, I don't know if the redeploy timers are off, so there's so many people left. I don't know if the redeploy timer lasts too long. Like Michael's saying, you can still, or like nobody's saying that you can you can redeploy still into the last circle. So maybe that's why it feels like it's so crowded. And I like to kind of play a little bit more tactically. Big surprise, I'm old, but that's how I like to play. Get in a good spot, make a good rotate, get to cover.
It works though sometimes. That's the thing. Like,
And
it actually,
that's
it's
why
a
I
decent strat.
I like playing strategically, getting in a good position, and using my mechanical skills when I need to win fights, and not just going for kills, but going for wins. And people call me campy or whatever. Just I don't care. I like to win, and it feels harder to do that. It feels more random, and like I said, the netcode is just bad still, man. Like you can watch my ping in the top, and it's just all over the place. It feels weird. I feel like I like this. Abel Green, he's an awesome content creator. If you guys don't follow him, he's awesome. He makes great videos. He was talking about, I think, Peak 53, and he was saying on all the gunfights he needed a referee to decide who won. I love that, and that's how I feel on Warzone 2. Like it's just random.
Yeah, I hear that. Definitely DMZ is not any of that. And the weird thing is the Ashika Island is like very foggy in DMZ versus in Resurgence it's like very clear too. So seems like the cadence of updates and patches continues to be really slow as it was at the end of Warzone 1's life cycle. Just like, it shouldn't take 4 months to do some like much needed weapon patching. And when they do it, it's never enough, It's kind of been a problem they've had for, I'd say, like 2 years now. We just hit the Warzone 3-year anniversary, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, and that's been a problem for 2 of those years. Is just the slowness in much needed weapon balancing patches. I remember in Blackout for Black Ops 4's Blackout, like if there was a gun that was obviously overpowered, like we've seen in Warzone, Treyarch was on that immediately, and it was fixed. There was no, all right, we're going to wait a couple months, patch it, barely. It still is hands down the best gun in the game, and then we're going to wait a couple more months or weeks, whatever. Just way too long to make changes that are obviously needed. So I don't know why that's something that's taking forever to do, but that's definitely one of their problems. People just don't want to keep coming back to the same nonsense every day.
I still have a decent amount of fun with Search and Destroy, but it's got nowhere. It's really stale. Like I said, we got those 2 maps we'd already played, so it's just kind of.
Hopefully the new map, the one new map.
All right. I think that covers COD. You guys think?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
That's 25.
Jesus, how many rounds did you just load?
Dude, I double loaded that thing. That's dangerous. Somebody check the chamber on that thing. Whoa.
Jeez.
Man, that was the Quickshot remix. I think Blue wanted to talk about this. Just the World War III showing off some little bit more of their revive mechanic.
I mean, what else is there to talk about? Just complaints about video games nowadays. So.
Yeah, that's what we do here. We don't have to talk about it much. There is something I wanted to say, kind of.
I mean, just a quick video they posted on YouTube about the down mechanic, and they're kind of showcasing off the new Tokyo map as well too in this clip, which is kind of the newest thing we'll see in the second operation, because in between each operation it's 3 months of waiting time, which I think is way too long. So we're finally getting some look, and this is the first time they've showcased the down mechanic in a double tap form, because the last 2 tweets ago they showed that 2 people went down at the same time and they were both crawling towards each other, and then one guy got ran over by a Jeep. Very corny. So this is kind of just like, okay, cool, this is how it works. If someone goes down, you got to make sure to double tap them so they can get revived by a player. But then that brings up a whole nother question, because there's no class system in World War III, so it's just anyone on your team gonna revive, or is it just your squad specifically only, which would make more sense. And then that also goes to show that the stories of the old HVT game mode, which was called Recon back in the day, had a revive system, which was, again, their version of a not a battle royale, but objective based last team standing game mode. So So I mean, it's gonna happen in September. So this is just their first implementation of those mechanics.
Ramping up to it.
So again, 3 months in between. It takes forever for stuff to come out, because then when this update comes out, they're gonna go radio silent again. It's just the way their marketing team works, and I hate how that works. And I recently got back on just to kind of get some more footage and make a video. So I was like, I need to get newer footage of the game, and I just kept running to the same old issues. High ping servers. No one in the US is playing. It's all Singapore, Dubai servers, and
Yeah.
there's no one's playing TAC Ops anymore because it's stale. People are playing TDM because it's the only game mode that has lower player count numbers. So
Yeah.
I mean, I was kicking off. I was playing like crazy, getting back into it. I was, getting pretty high KDs, and then I played 2 rounds and I was like, all right, I'm done. I'll wait till whenever it's coming out this month. I just don't know what day.
Yeah. And then they talk about any details on how it worked. Like they'll share more details as soon as possible. It's like, just quit teasing it.
Yeah.
The other thing is they keep teasing people along with the console thing. I don't know if I can find it in the reply. Somebody asked about console and they said it was like the worst answer ever. They said that console is not off the table and they'll share more details ASAP. And that's like,
so yeah, they've been saying that
For a
forever.
but what they've also been saying, they want to get the PC version as best as possible. So they've been saying that for years as well too.
They need to.
All right. Well,
But
we'll
yeah,
see.
whoever the hell is running their damn Twitter account and marketing campaign is seriously just. I told them many times to bring me on. Just come on, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you on console in 2042.
True.
Yeah, it's gonna be a minute.
But that's it.
So-
That's pretty much it.
All right, we don't have to dwell on that because we always say the same
Yeah.
stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
Any of this other stuff you want to talk about, Blue? Like that you sent,
mean-
the Tabor, the Dead Side, or any of that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Ghost of Tabor, initial beta. I think it's actually got extended as well too. And it's the first official VR extraction game, because there's definitely games that have tried it. But this one includes PvP and PvE. It includes like a hideout. It includes different, weapon crafting mechanics, and it's all within the VR play space. So this is also a pretty big game coming out. I was gonna play it, and then my controller broke, and I just tried to order another one. That didn't work out. But regardless, it's coming out apparently March 20th. So that's interesting to see. Again, you do need a VR headset. It's not, cross compatible. You need something along the lines of the Rift S or the new MetaQuest or the Valve Index. So it's I wouldn't say I would wait till it comes out, but a lot of people are saying, like, if you haven't thought about buying Battle Royale or buying a VR headset, I think now would be the time. So, but I want to wait until it officially comes out. But I know buddy of mine is coming to a launch party for the game, and then again, just I mean, it's a really cool aspect. Again, other games have tried to mod it into their versions of the game for VR, but I'm a big fan of extraction game modes. I feel like that's the way gaming is moving nowadays, anyways, with DMZ and stuff like that. So it's cool to finally see this game mode come to the VR space, and I'm excited to see what it's all about.
You going to another launch party? Do you get on the red carpet stuff for those, or?
No, I know a buddy that's going. I don't know if I'm going, but I know a friend of mine that's going. So
Gotcha. Get in there. Invite Blue. Hashtag invite Blue. Get him in there. I want to try VR, but I feel like I would break everything in my office. I'm very scared. I'm very scared to put a VR headset on and start waving my arms around.
Yeah. Also, yeah, and someone mentioned that they're looking to eventually extend to the PlayStation VR headset as well too. So then technically it's console as well. Just VR in general has been really ramping up lately, especially that the PlayStation VR looks amazing. They got Pavlov on there now, and Like
really?
that was specifically only PC only,
seen
so
that
it's
game.
cool. You know.
Oh man, that's cool. He's putting his SKS mags in his backpack. That looks really cool.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
depends on
that's
the helmet you're
awesome.
wearing
You
and
gotta
change
try
your
to.
FOV and
He's getting it to where it fits in the backpack. That's sweet.
We're gonna
dude.
see. Give it like
yeah,
5 years. We're gonna see like a Tarkov VR.
yeah, that's basically. I mean, basically, this is what that is. This is Controlled Pairs Gaming as well too. He's been covering it extensively as well too. So shout out to him because he's been very helpful in the um tactical aspect of the game
That's
when it comes to
cool.
like feedback and stuff.
Have you seen Blue? Have you seen any of those? They're like a gun that you can hook your like a plastic gun that you hook.
One. It's
Do
a
you
crappy
really?
one. Yeah, hold on.
Is it like a?
grab this real quick.
So yeah, I've seen these like plastic guns that have magnets on there that you hook your controller to. You hook your handheld controllers to, and then you can hold it like.
Yeah, it's a really cheap one. It's a little VR gun stock, but it comes with, if people want to see it on the screen, sorry. But
Sorry,
it has like
podcast
these
listener.
little it has these little magnetic clips as well too that hooks on, and just so when you want to take out your hand to reload, it just comes out
Oh,
and then just hooks back up. But there's like a whole setup for it. This is like a $50 one. They have very expensive ones that have like haptic feedback, so when you shoot, it
Whoa.
feels like recoil.
That's cool.
Haptic feedback vest as well too. So if you get shot, you get some vibrations on the chest as well
That's
too.
pretty cool. The future, man. Ready Player One is coming. It's
Yeah, man. They got those treadmills now. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen those treadmills. Or the what are the ones
wonky.
where you? It's almost like those little baby walker things where it goes around your waist.
Yeah, it goes
and then
around you.
It's
That's
concave, and
basically
you can
like that's like the only one you can get like consumer wise that is feasible. But again, it looks like you're just a big baby in this walker. And you got like these weird foot pads that you got to put on in order to like slide and stuff like that and run. You know, they did try to make an omnidirectional treadmill as well too, the kind of more Ready Player One-ish, and I mean, it's already up. It's just this giant hunking machine. So,
well, give it 5 years, man. It's gonna be.
I have more room in my office now, man.
got Earth too. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my office is pretty small, and I'm able to do decent VR gaming in here. It gets pretty hot for one PC setup if I'm trying to record and or stream while recording PC. Because VR, because it playing VR already, it becomes like a sauna in this office. So I'm gonna wait until the next place where it's a bit bigger. But yeah, it gets pretty hot, especially. I mean, you have a 3090, so it's gonna have a 2070, which is just on the cusp of like it being VR ready. So.
Man,
yeah, that's pretty much it with Ghost of Tabor. Though. I would definitely keep an eye on it.
The wheels are.
I mean, like, yeah, he's adding like a PEC 15 or some laser system on top, and you can slide it to where you want. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, there's like a limb damage system as well in there too. So,
dude,
and there's Void too. There's Void. There's like
really?
This is like legit extraction game mode where you fight against different players and.
5 years from now, we're all gonna be like playing tournaments with this. This is gonna be
like gamer in real life, pretty much. Yeah. Except well, we'll see.
Dude,
but yeah, the loot that you get, you bring it back to your hideout and you keep it.
Like you have to take it out of the backpack and put it on the shelf and stuff.
Yeah, there's like a shelf, like a gun rack, and wherever you orient your weapon, it like places it on there, and then it has like the little hooks on the weapons and stuff like that. So it's really
Blackout
cool.
in chat saying he played it and it's really cool. It looks crazy, dude.
It looks good.
I've heard people talking about it, but I didn't look into it at all. Damn. Dude, it would be hilarious to stream this.
I would say graphics wise, I mean, again, it probably depends on the VR headset you're using and the graphics card, but it's not a bad looking game. The VR gaming, the only ones that look amazing are like Half-Life Alyx, and that was like years of working on that game. Where I mean, this is again a smaller company. Combat Waffle was the one making it. So, and they got a whole Discord that you can go and talk to and talk to the people. So
he's dropping his pulling out his side. Dude, that's crazy. It looks kind of rough, dude. But it looks pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get used to fighting and VR as well too.
Oh, I'm sure it's completely different.
I just put on the VR headset today again after not for playing for a couple months, and I feel like I already have to get back into like getting my VR legs because I remember the first time I put on VR headset, I was like motion sick for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, dude, I worry about
You know, and you just have to keep doing it. There's some people that could just put it on and be fine, but
Take
for me,
off
I
the
was
nods. Man, that's
oh man, that's pretty cool.
all right. I'll quit staring at that, smiling like it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Probably not cool to watch, but did you want to hit the dead side at all before we
if
call
you
it?
got time.
Yeah, I probably don't have time for Q&A today, guys. Sorry again.
Same, yeah, same
got
here.
stuff going on, but we can check this out really quick.
I mean,
you can start talking about it if you want. Dead
yeah,
Side's a cool game.
Dead Side's been worked on for a bit. It still needs a lot of time for sure. But I know they're working. Their biggest concern with this 0.5.0 update is the airboats working server side. In that insider preview video they posted on their YouTube channel, like towards the end, Loaf, who was a content creator turned game dev for their gun mechanics turned community manager, he's been all over the place with that, but he kind of showcased or at least they showcased on their video of like everything wrong with the airboats, are like flying through the air and just completely just being broken. But a lot of it is, I mean, they're adding a lot of different mechanics, such as like water bottles that you can grab water with. They're adding the sound design of like being high up in the mountains or in a bunker sounds different. They're going to be working on, or they're introducing like bullet cracks and just more making the game feel more immersive overall. But there's sadly no confirmed date for 0.5.0. It was announced twice, and by the second one, they said they were going to delay it, and they said they weren't going to put a date until they know they were ready. So, and they're not ready yet.
That's
so
good,
yeah, but because of that, they've added a lot more to the game, which is nice. So it's like, hey, sorry we took so long, but here's more than what we are initially offered for 0.5.0.
Mm-hmm.
New locations. Every time they update the game, like as a big update, they like revamp the whole map. The vehicles are probably the biggest one because the map's just so big. It's just a walking simulator every time. And if you like games like DayZ and Scum and stuff like that, you'll know how like crucial vehicles are in that game. So, or in those games. So airboats are just the start, and they had before they added like a whole river system to get the game ready. So, you know, a lot of parts of the different maps connect via a river system. And then they're adding 2 new islands on the northeast part of the map. So new locations again. And yeah, again, just a lot of it. The thing I like about Dead Side and about Bad Pixel is that they listen a lot to the community on what needs to be fixed, what needs to be implemented. Like I know one of the biggest thing was like they got rid of food and water from the trader, but in order to get food and water, you'd have to go out scavenging for it or kill a duck, because you can do that in the game now. You can go duck hunting and stuff like that. And then the only way to get water was through like a water collector and that, or sodas, and that was it. So now they're like adding back food, but it's going to cost so much more to kind of balance it out. And then of course, like the water bottles, you can go and there's like wells and it's just little things like that.
What is
over
this
time.
Video? It's showing all the bugs. It's showing all the bugs.
So like they're very adamant about like, here, like this is why we're taking forever, because we're trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with these airboats kind of thing. So
that's funny. That's awesome. I want to go back to Dead Side when they get a little more stuff into it.
I would definitely say, and then they had a sale recently, which was like 35% off, which for the supporter edition, what gives you like extra stash, was like $18. But now with like the base game itself is like $20, which again, I would wait until 0.5.0 to see if it's worth coming back into, or if you're brand new and never played it before, because right now I don't think it's worth the 20 with the the low player base and the content currently in the game. I've been playing it since day one though, so it's a bit different for me. But again, most of that early days was like us coming up with our own content. So
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right then.
Yeah.
I said no chat Q&A, but I'm a sucker for Redbeard's question. Can we answer it real quick? I think it's a really good question. Then we'll end it.
Let me see. What is it?
Is that all right? He said, so I'm at a, because I hear this a lot and I feel this sometimes. I'm at a point in my life where I'm bored with pretty much every game and I can't figure out what I want to play. What do you guys recommend I do to break that?
It's the $1 million question.
It's
right
a deep
there.
question. It's tough.
I always have to, like, whenever I'm at that point, I have to. I mean, I think we've all been there, especially myself leading up to Modern Warfare. I mean, I went back and played old games. I went back and played older games that I hadn't played. Like I was so bored with stuff. That's when I bought Ghost Recon Wildlands and started playing through that. I mean, depending on what kind of games you're into, there's so many things that I didn't play at the time that I went back and started playing. And I was like, this is, Sandstorm came out on console that had me hooked. So I had to like go play completely different games that I had never touched before to find something new that like really gave me that itch, or scratch the itch, I should say.
I mean, specifically talk about FPS games. It feels like that was what I was doing too, going back to older titles and kind of either replaying those for the first time or going a little bit more out of my gaming genre.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's a tough question to answer, especially nowadays, man. I think everyone is in that same predicament, especially for the older crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure 13-year-old kids are having no issues playing games. They're loving every
live.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess for us, it's nothing intrigues me as much other than games that are already broken or games that are taking forever to be developed.
Yeah. So
and
for
like
me,
those other games. Sorry to interrupt, Chris. Like those older games though, I mean, nobody just said that Breakpoint is free on console. That game's had a lot of support. It's way better now to play, especially with the like realism type settings and stuff. But like those games, even like the Wildlands, Breakpoint, even some of the Far Cries. Like I was just, someone told me they were playing Far Cry 5 or 6 tonight, and I was like, oh man, I have 5. Like those are games that like you can play by yourself and just hours of content and play it your way. So like those are good ways.
I've never played Far Cry 5 yet.
Those are good ways to like pass time and man, nobody says leg break simulator.
So
absolutely.
So for me, I'm a pretty social gamer too, so I really kind of enjoy playing with friends. I really barely ever play by myself. It's doesn't sound that fun to me.
Yeah.
But the games that keep me going are the ones where you have to, my dad, and this is a saying of my dad, you got to eat some shit to get to the gravy. I think they're those one-of-one games like Tarkov, like Siege, or those competitive ones that have a huge learning curve like Valorant, or like, I don't think CSGO to this point, it's kind of been played, but like those really hard games that maybe you hit a point where it's like so shitty it wasn't fun. And I just think sometimes you have to go back to those games to get something out of it, man. It's almost like it's almost like how I assume drugs are, where like the lighter drugs and stuff don't do it for you anymore, and you have to get to the hard shit like to feel anything.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs.
It's an analogy, okay?
It's an analogy. Canceled again. But like those games that suck for like months and you put hours into them and they suck but you're learning, and you have to have that mindset like, I'm not losing, I'm learning. And then when you start to learn those games, like you start to make really cool plays in Siege, or you start to have really good raids and see those rubles pile up in Tarkov, and you start to have success after it's been a struggle to learn, that's when I get like reward. And then so those harder games is something that I think you just put the time in, and it sucks for a while, but your goal is to get better and you see improvement. That's really satisfying. And then I always like competitive stuff with friends, and that's where the Siege and the S&D comes in. I love the comms. We're always talking. I feel like when we play multiplayer, sometimes even when we play Battlefield, we're playing together, but everybody's just kind of running around doing their own thing. We're not talking much. But I like playing S&D. Everybody's giving call outs, Siege especially. Everybody's giving call outs for talking about what we're going to do next round. You know, we're kind of talking about, you know, some guys are like pumping the team up. Like we can do this. We can come back. Like that's what I like. That's what gets me going anymore. But I've felt that same way before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. You really just got to start branching out to different things. I think.
And make
like,
sure,
yeah, the harder things are better. More
and make sure
rewarding
you
for
give
sure.
it time.
Yeah.
Because I get it, dude. Like you try to get back into Siege or something, like as long as it's been and as much new stuff's there, and you die to some new operator or some like pixel peak that someone knocked a whole 3 rooms over and you get a bullet to the head. It's like, dude, this isn't fun. I play games to have fun. So I get that and not wanting to play it anymore. But you got to think of it like, oh, I'm gonna do that to the next thing, next guy. Like then you do that to somebody else, and it's pretty cool. So like you gotta think that way.
Yeah, I'm on that somewhere where like I do enjoy playing with friends more than I do by myself, but there's definitely times where I don't mind. I would say like the games I was getting into for a bit was I found Stallcraft in that lull of games that I just wasn't playing, and that was a game completely out of my genre. I never thought I'm not a fan of like voxel looking or blocky looking games, Roblox or what was it, BattleBit and stuff like that. As much as BattleBit was cool, I just couldn't get past the graphics. But then like for a game like StarCraft, where it was just a bunch of us playing together, and for a good solid, I would say 3 months, it was just StarCraft every day with friends, and we would all log in, and it was just, it's like an MMO, and it's an FPS game too at the end of the day. So it was again, I think what Buff said earlier is just like you got to try things outside of, I guess, your comfort zone almost.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
All right, guys. I think that was an awesome episode. I think you guys saved it.
You guys meaning Blue and I, or Blue and I
we
and our lovely
right.
audience. No, we all, it's a team effort.
I think I think everyone chipped in this episode.
Except me. I don't even remember
audience.
it. I don't even know
well,
what
you're sleep
about.
deprived.
What
so
day
that's
is what day is it, Chris?
Who am I? Where are we? And what are you people doing in my house?
Who are you people?
Where am I? But no, man, awesome episode. Can't thank everyone enough for being here. And we always do. We're like averaging 60 downloads a week on the podcast, which is crazy to me. Super cool for the audio version, which is a thing if you need something to do while you're touching grass. Really cool. And then the other thing is, if you want to support the show, we keep your money. Times are tough, man. Just be a friend, tell a friend. That's all we ask. Next time you come back next week, bring somebody with you. We'll hang out and talk about FPS games. I super enjoy hanging out with everybody. Buff and Blue make it awesome and a lot of fun. And the audience is the cherry on top. You guys make it happen. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you guys next week. I'll get the audio version up ASAP.
Absolutely. Good hanging out, guys. Everyone have a good night and good rest of the week.
Not everyone.
Bye.